All right, welcome to Hoops Tracker. We have a special guest today, new Monarch coach Kincaid Bimler. Kincaid, welcome to the show.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Hey, absolutely. So, Kincaid, talk a little bit. So you've coached at Chatfield, you were assistants. I know you've been in the Mountain West Premier EYBL program the last couple of years. Talk a little bit about your experience in basketball, just so people may or may not know who Kincaid is.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I grew up in Colorado, attended Dakota Ridge High School and went on to School of Mines after that. But I've been coaching almost half my life now, going into my 16th season as in coaching basketball. Started off in youth programs with Dakota Ridge boys basketball, and then moved on to coach boys basketball at Bear Creek High School as a level three coach, and then Columbine High School as a varsity assistant coach on their boys side. Had a transition over to girls basketball and got the head varsity job at Chatfield. From there, got involved with Premier and kind of worked my way up and got involved there and in the director's side. So now
Yeah,
I'm one of the directors for Colorado Premier, and then I've been
cool.
coaching U15 EYBL basketball the past 3 seasons with Mountain West Premier, and I'm coaching U16 EYBL this summer with them. So
Cool. Now you talk a little bit about coaching on the boys' side, making the switch. What was the big jump from the boys to the girls' side that attracted you to come over to this side?
yeah, I just feel like my leadership style fits with female athletes better. I'm big about confidence building. I'm big about encouragement. And so I feel like the best boys coaches, and I've been around a lot of good ones, your 13th player on the team thinks that they're Michael Jordan, and you really have to kind of tear them down and build them back up.
Yeah.
And I'm big. I just see a lot of female athletes. They need someone that's in their corner, going to encourage them and going to challenge them. And I feel like that fits with my leadership style a little bit better. So.
No, that sounds great. Now you took over a team that 2 years ago was in the state championship and almost knocked off Grandview.
Yep.
And last year they made a big run, but they graduated a lot of key players. Now you're taking over a program. You got Sienna Williams, one of the top players in the country in the 2027 class. And then you have Savannah Weiss, who's got significant playing time. But let's talk a little bit about this year's team and what that looks like.
Yeah, we're gonna be really young. As we were kind of talking about before, Savannah unfortunately tore her ACL
Mm-hmm.
in a fall league game, and so she's out for the season. So we're gonna be really young, and that was the thing. The whole reason why I applied at Monarch. I think it's one of the perennial powerhouses in Colorado. They've always had a strong program. Blakely did a great job with this last group, and so just that challenge to make us a consistent contender and to come in and coach a player like Sienna is such an honor. Was able to coach her this summer in club a little bit to see her potential and help her to continue to develop and grow into the player that
Mm-hmm.
she's capable of being is awesome. But we have a lot of really good pieces on our team as well. I'm excited for everyone to see some of our younger players this year. They're going to make a big impact, and we're going to have a really competitive 3 to 4 year run with this group. And so, just excited to get in the gym today, tryouts start today, and get rolling with that and get our team going. So.
Yeah, I think this year there's a lot of parity in 6A. So even though there's some younger teams, even though there's some other folks, I really do think, as we're going forward, talk a little bit for you coming in, new being in now you guys are in a new league. It's not even Front Range, it's Grand
Yep.
Peak something or other. Uh,
Yep. Grand Peaks League. Yep.
yeah, and you guys are now playing 5A teams, 4A teams with Holy Families in that league. Talk a little bit about that compared to the Jeffco League that you were used to coaching in and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a unique challenge. One foremost, just way more teams. Knowing different game plans and stuff like that's going to be a fun adjustment. When I was in Jeffco, it was the Valor dominated years. They had really good teams with Reagan and the rest of the people, and so it's kind of just figuring out how you stack up there. But this Granite Peaks League is going to be really competitive. I'm excited for it. Broomfield's obviously a really strong team.
Mhm.
Horizon came off a great performance last year. And then even a team like Holy Family, the 1-4A team, is going to be really strong. They got a new coach, but they're always really competitive, always have great athletes. And then you have some of the top 5A teams in the state. So I mean, it's a good mix. It's going to be a challenge, and I think it's just going to be who can ever withstand the adversity and kind of come out on top. But I'm excited for the challenge. There's a lot of great coaches in our league, and just excited to compete against them with our group.
Now, in looking at 6A, this year, I think there's a lot more parity than really there has been in the previous 10 years. I mean, usually there's like, all right, here are the 3 or 4 teams. They usually end up in the final four. This
Yep,
year is going to be a little different because you have defending state champs Valor, who Valor lost Riley Beers right before the championship game. She'll be back. But then
yep,
you've got Regis, you've got Legend, you got Cherokee Trail. But then you've got Highlands Ranch that's coming back with, you mentioned Broomfield. There's a lot of teams that I think, Grandview with Sienna. I mean, there's a lot of teams that have a different mix. Cherry Creek's under a new coach. Um,
yep.
so what's your thought on where things are going to fly? And I guess if you were, right now, I know you guys are going to be young. So who are you thinking is in those top echelon, maybe that top 10 that's going to vie for a state title?
Yeah, I mean, you brought up a lot of great teams. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of parity in the state, but there's I think a clear tier one group of teams, and I think that list is a little bit longer this year. It's probably 10 to 15, where in years past it's maybe been four, like you said. But and then I mean, even on the 6A front with Northfield moving up to 6A, with Riverdale Ridge moving up to 6A, I think there's gonna be a lot of interesting teams throughout the year. I don't really care how we stack up in there. I'm confident in what we're gonna do, but the thing I like in the way they built our schedule is we're gonna play a lot of tough teams. We have Northfield, we have Riverdale Ridge. We open up with Pine Creek, who was 21-4 last year, at a top 100 player in the country, and Brooklyn Stewart. So,
Oh,
we're just excited for that, and I think it's really going to come down to who's healthy at the end of the year, and who has great coaching. I was able to see firsthand. I have a lot of respect for Jess's Valor. I'd never count her out when she's got a squad. But
oh
just a
yeah.
lot of great coaches across the state. So I'm excited to watch, to get back into high school and be a part of it. But we're just gonna focus on us and keep moving on and challenge our
Yeah.
schedule.
What do you think about the talent level right now in Colorado? You got players like Alex Eschmeyer, Sienna Betts. You
Yep,
got Bree. I mean, you got Tatiana Brown, who broke into the Big Four. I mean, you got 3 All-Americans right now. You got a lot of really quality players. I mean, we've already got 40 girls committed to
yep,
college, and there's still
yep.
more on the table. I mean, what do you think? What's the future like in Colorado girls basketball?
Yeah, I mean, I think Colorado, especially in this region, is one of the hotbeds for girls basketball. In my position with Premier, we recruit a lot for our teams from Utah, Arizona, Idaho, Wyoming,
Mhm.
kind of all over this region. And Colorado is definitely some of our best players, some of our best products, and people we try and keep within our program. I think it's cool. You're starting to see teams go more out of state and compete against other schools. Colorado holds their own. I mean, I think you look at some of these national level programs. Grandview a couple years ago went out to She's Got Game and played like 4 top 10 teams in the country and held their own with them. I mean, it's really been a hotbed. I think it's been a little bit slept on, but just continuing to produce such great players at a high level and people that are able to play at the next level at a high level is really important.
Mhm.
I just think it's really cool when you watch college basketball. I mean, you look at people from Premier like an Addison O'Grady to Iowa is having a huge impact this year. Lauren Betts, obviously at UCLA, just different Premier people we've had. Has been really cool for us. And then on top of that, just to see all the other players that are able to produce and compete at a high level. Future Colorado is bright. It can continue to get better. I think we're doing things the right way across the state, and just excited to see these teams continue to compete on the national level.
Yeah, a big shout out to Addie O'Grady going 9 for 9
Crazy.
for the field last week, and then backs it up with, I think, a 15-point game or a huge game that she had. Getting, I think having to sit that long, and now she's breaking out. Uh,
Yep.
that's huge. And like you said, Lauren, #1 in the country, and then you look at Reagan Beers, she's already got 1,000 points in her college career.
Yep. No, we've had tons of talent in Colorado, and I think we're going to continue to keep producing high level players like this. It's really, really encouraging and awesome to see.
Yeah. Kincaid, this has been awesome. I know you're super busy. First day of basketball. Good luck this season. We'll definitely be out. I hope, we wish Savannah well, but looking forward to seeing what you guys put together and how young that group is and how fast they're going to come up. So
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate your time and thank you for what you do for girls basketball. It's great to have this coverage. Thank you.
cool. Thanks, man.